Deji of Akure is alleged to have invited Queen Naomi's mother and spoken like a father to the woman, telling Queen Naomi's mother that a date in June has been set for Queen Naomi to return back to the palace, that she as a mother, it behoves on her to take up the responsibility of ensuring that she delivers her daughter into the palace, that Queen Naomi's mother and family should remember that, Ife and other people will not continually blame the Ooni of Ife for what happened between him and Queen Naomi, knowing that the Ooni of Ife as a king has gone out of his way, lowered himself more than anything, eaten a lot of insult and disrespect just to ensure that Queen Naomi returns back to the palace. That he knows how many times he has intervened trying to make sure that Queen Naomi returned to the palace, and it has not been successful. The first day that Queen Naomi dropped that letter on Instagram, that post on Instagram while Oni was in Lagos, that Oni's PR debunked that information, and later we found out that it was true that Queen Naomi had gone. The first person that was met to speak to Queen Naomi was Deji of Akure. Deji of Akure was said to have spoken to Queen Naomi and the family, and Queen Naomi declined returning back to the palace. At some point, they said, in fact, Queen Naomi agreed to return back to the palace, but before she could return back to the palace, there was a whole lot of confusion right there in the palace of the Ooni of Ife because, elders took advantage of the situation. They went and started telling Ooni of Ife that he is king. He can never beg a woman to come back. Queen Naomi insulted the whole Ife people. Queen Naomi has no respect. Queen Naomi does not know how to deal with royalty. They started saying a whole sort of things. Oni can marry any woman he wants. Oni is open to marry as many as 17, 18, 21 wives, if that was what Oni would want. Oni knows that any woman he says, come and be my wife, the woman will run and all of that. They now started saying things and putting ideas on Oni's head, and Oni went on and on and on and on and on. They went back and forth until at the end of the day, Oni ended up, leaving not leaving Queen Naomi. Oni ended up not being interested in Queen Naomi's return back to the palace. And when Queen Naomi sensed that things have changed, Queen Naomi never came back into the palace. So Deji of Akure had gone ahead to speak to Queen Naomi's mother. That, remember, I intervened as much as possible because I wanted this thing with Ooni of Ife and Queen Naomi to last, to work for them, that you can never, we've been going back and forth. It's important for you to know that this might be the last chance for Queen Naomi to return back into the palace of the Ooni of Ife. You need to know that the Ooni has gone through a lot and he himself is already getting tired. That if you don't do everything and anything that you need to do to ensure that your daughter returns back to the palace, Ife people and the king and everybody will not continue to blame the Ooni of Ife. They would see that Ooni of Ife has tried as a man to bring your daughter back, and if it's your daughter's decision not to return back to the palace, they will say nobody should force her. By the time the entire elders, they come to conclusion that Queen Naomi, nobody should go after Queen Naomi again, that Queen Naomi may not be accepted into the palace of the Ooni of Ife again. Now, they said Deji of Akure went ahead to tell Queen Naomi's mother that it is important for, an entertainer to leave the stage when the ovation is still high. That this thing that you guys are doing back and forth is not good. That right now, that the Ooni of Ife, they have agreed that these women will stay outside. That he is hoping that when the women go, there will be no more stories from the side of Queen Naomi. They will leave Queen Naomi to her own devices. That as a mother, Queen Naomi's mother is supposed to let Queen Naomi know that your husband is your crown. God has blessed Queen Naomi with a crown. Queen Naomi should not, throw it away. Queen Naomi should take that crown, cherish it, work with it and do the things that God has, blessed her to do with that crown. That if the mother knows that she is happy about the fact that her daughter is out there, even though she received praises, accolade from everybody in the world. Is she really happy that her daughter is out there like that? If she is happy, she should not take this counsel seriously. But if she's not happy, she should make sure that Queen Naomi returns back into the palace of the Ooni of Ife in June. That Queen Naomi's mother should also bear in mind that people will fight too. That knowing that there is a date set aside for Queen Naomi to come back to the palace is going to be a clear reason why people will fight Queen Naomi, fight them back and forth. That a lot of things will start coming up again. That people will say a lot of things. People will try to spite Queen Naomi to make her feel bad over this decision she's about to make and all of that. But Queen Naomi should ignore all of them and know that they are jealous, that they should return back to the palace with Tadenikawu. I wanted to bring you this update. I'm going to bring you more. I appreciate you so much. Thank you.